Someone asked me exactly what I ate and how I trained to get lean. And if you're new, this is what I used to look like. And this is what I look like now. So there's a decent change. Before I tell you guys exactly what I did, I need to clear something up. Most people fail. That's because they massively overcomplicate this. Getting lean doesn't require some crazy training split or some extreme diet. In reality, it's actually really boring, but boring works. And I'm going to show you that boring works. We're going to start off with calories. It is literally science. The more you eat, the more weight you'll put on. The less you eat, the more weight you'll take off. The entire idea of fat loss comes from being in a calorie deficit, which means you're eating below your maintenance. And your maintenance is just the calories your body needs day to day to remain at the weight it's at. Now, before I tell you how to actually find your deficit, I want to go through some common mistakes that people tend to make. First of all, you don't want to starve yourself. All right, you don't want to be in too extreme of a deficit. As you can see, there's no food here. Don't be starved maxing. You want to be able to lose the fat at a reasonably healthy pace without losing a ton of muscle and strength. And second, you don't want to be in a deficit for too long. You want to be in a deficit for about 6 to 12 weeks. That's a decent sweet spot. After that, all of these things start taking hits. Your CNS will start taking a hit. Fatigue will build up. Your sleep will start taking a hit. Your testosterone. Just know that being in a deficit for too long can actually have downsides, but again, it depends from person to person. You know, if you're severely obese, I can understand why you'd want to be in a deficit for really long. Let's talk about finding your deficit. So you want to use a TDEE calculator. I'll link the one I use personally in the description. And what you do is you input your weight and you input your height, and it's going to calculate what it thinks your maintenance calories are. And it does this by using an estimation of your activity level. And with your activity level, it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you're someone that works an office job or you're a student, you know, you're not moving around a lot day to day, then you're going to have low levels of activity. So you just put that in the calculator. Whereas if you're someone who's on their feet a lot, maybe you're a teacher or you work a labor job or you're just generally an active person, then you say high activity. After you get your maintenance calories, it's going to tell you what you need to eat to lose fat. We want it so that you're losing about 0.25 kilos a week. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. Remember, we want to make sure it's one, it's sustainable, and two, you don't feel like shit while you're on the cut. Third point, you want to be tracking your food consistently. And you can do this using MyFitnessPal. Protein. Protein is non-negotiable. If you don't hit your protein, you're going to be making it way harder than it needs to be. You want to aim to get 2 grams of protein per kilo body weight, or 1 gram per pound of body weight. So for example, if I were 80 kilos, I would be aiming to have at least, at the minimum, 160 grams a day. All right. You can make this pretty easy by having protein with every meal. Make sure every meal you eat is like 40 to 50 grams of protein. That makes it super easy. And supplements such as protein powder, which I am actually having right now, and protein bars, they can really help hitting this protein requirement. But the thing is, you don't want it to replace real food, because at the end of the day, these two are very processed and it lacks what whole food has, which is all of these nutrients. It has all these vitamins, fats as well. Fats on a cut is very helpful. It gives you energy. It actually keeps you full for longer. So now we'll talk about what type of foods that you can eat. Thing is, I didn't have a set meal plan. I just picked foods I can eat that I could repeat and I could make loads of dishes out of. Honestly, bro, it's a bread and butter. So we start with a lean protein. So we got chicken, you know, non-negotiable. Everyone loves chicken. Eggs, again, eggs are fucking superfoods. All right, I would even say have a minimum of 3-4 eggs a day. Lean beef, fish, tuna, salmon, amazing. It's got good fats in it too. For my carbs, which are also important, guys, don't cut out carbs. You know, if you actually want to train hard, you need carbs. I was having rice, potatoes, including sweet potatoes, oats, and also pasta. Berries, bananas, again, more carbs, good energy, great fiber. Make sure you have veggies, guys, green shit, broccoli, spinach. Again, fiber. It makes sure that your digestive system is working all right. And also be wary of how much sauce you use on your food, because the calories can add up. So I would recommend always go for the light variants. Go for the light variants if you can. And finally, oil. 1 tablespoon of oil's got like what, 120 calories in it? I'd even say to invest in the low calorie cooking spray. Let's talk about tracking, and in detail now. You want to track most days. And it's going to be hard, it's going to be frustrating, I know, but if you track most days, it's going to give you an idea of what you're actually eating, and it'll help you make better choices. And also, it will just become a habit. You know, once there's a habit, tracking becomes no problem. If anyone tries saying, oh, don't track your calories, that's weird, don't listen to them. Family members, your friends, you know, some people might be like, why are you tracking your food? You don't need to track it. Don't listen to them. especially if they're not on the same path as you are. It doesn't have to be perfect when you're tracking your food, but remember, it is always better to have an estimate of what you're eating rather than just guessing. Tracking, again, it will build an awareness of what you're actually eating. This is MyFitnessPal, the app I use. I just want to quickly add, if your parents have cooked, for example, chicken curry and rice, a lot of people just give up on tracking. They'll be like, oh yeah, I can't track because my parents cook. I don't know how to track it. And I totally get that. But again, you can still try to estimate how much you're eating. For example, if they make chicken curry and rice, I will weigh out how much chicken I'm taking, say 300 grams of chicken, and then I'll weigh out how much rice I'm having, say 200 grams. I have a rough idea of how many calories I'm having and how much protein I'm getting in. It just makes it so much easier because winging it just doesn't work. Now we're on the fun part, we're on training. On a car, a lot of people expect to see massive strength gains. I'm not saying you can't get stronger, because you can, especially if you're newer to the gym. You know, you're gonna experience something called newbie gains for your first year. You have to take advantage of newbie gains. If you listen to everything in this video, then you will have no reason to not take full advantage of newbie gains. But in this first year, you will put on the most muscle that you will ever put on in your entire lifting career, unless you decide to hop on. Now, the most important thing when it comes to training is progressive overload. What that looks like is, for example, every week I would try to either increase the weight or increase the reps I was hitting on every exercise. You'll be able to do that most weeks. There may be a week where nothing changes, and that's fine. That's normal. It's a part of the game. If your muscles don't have a reason to adapt, they won't grow. You won't get stronger. Nothing will happen. I would even go as far as saying to track your workouts. There's so many apps out there that can now track your workouts. Or if you want to go the old-fashioned way, notebook and pen, that works as well. For the split you're doing, make sure you're getting around 8 to 12 sets per muscle a week. Hit the muscles 2 times a week, so it's pretty high frequency. And any split works. Sometimes you may end up obsessing over your split. Just pick a split that suits your schedule. For me, it's upper lower. I get 4 days on, 2 days off. I mean, whatever split you decide to do, the most important variable is that you train hard. No matter what you do, you have to train hard. That's how you're gonna see results. Now, I would do 2 sets to failure, 8 to 10 reps, maybe 6 to 8, depending on the exercise. But I recommend experimenting. So here I've got a example split, which is a push-pull legs. It is super basic. It has the simple fundamentals. There's a good focus on compounds, which is really good if you're a newbie. So just to reiterate, whatever exercises you end up doing, just train them really hard. Train them hard. Whatever you do, you will grow. You will get stronger. Don't try to perfect your split. There's nothing wrong with optimizing your split. It's just when you obsess with perfecting it, you're changing exercises every week. You're not giving it time. Whatever split you do, give it a couple months. All right. Let's talk about cardio. Most people skip this, and hell, I skipped cardio most of the time too. But cardio is a really good tool to help calorie deficit. I'm not saying you have to be doing an hour on the treadmill every day, but doing cardio can help. The non-negotiable, get 10k steps a day. Getting 10k steps a day will help so much with the deficit. I would do cardio maybe 2 times a week, or I just do it whenever I know I've eaten too much or I'm going to go out and eat. It gives you more calories to work with on that day that you do cardio. So 20 minutes on the incline treadmill and just speed walking can burn about 200 calories. So I would also recommend doing fun cardio over boring cardio. So for example, I liked boxing, so I would do some bag work instead of just being on the treadmill all the time. Another thing with cardio is I would recommend decreasing your calories by doing cardio first, rather than decreasing your food intake. For example, I'm on 2,200 calories, I plateaued. I want to drop to 2k. Instead of dropping the 2k via eating less, I'd rather make sure I do cardio every day and lose 200 calories doing cardio. So now I'm on 2k a day. But in order to do this, that means you now have to do cardio every single day. Also, I just want to add that recovery is also a really big thing when you're in a deficit. Yes, you have to keep training intense, but it also has to be manageable. Recovery matters a lot, especially when you're in a deficit. Remember, intense training is meant to be hard. You are meant to feel discomfort. Alright, it is not meant to be easy. If you're going to the gym and you're just going through the movements, it's not hard, it's easy, you're just wasting your own time. Why are you even going to the gym at that point? Don't waste your time. In addition to this, make sure you sleep a lot. And that is funny coming from me, because sleep is probably my biggest problem. 8 hours minimum a day. Now let's talk about why this actually worked. If it's so boring, if it's so simple, and it's so basic, why'd it work? Everything I've said in this video is some easy ass shit that anyone can do. What actually changed wasn't the plan, it was the consistency. I stopped negotiating with myself, stopped trying to make up excuses, stopped trying to say, oh, I'll do it next week or whatever. I stopped just making bullshit excuses up. I just started to show up every single day, especially when you don't want to show up. That is the most important factor. There's a lot of important factors in this video. That's also super important. You gotta stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop saying you'll do it next year. How many times are you gonna let this just become a New Year resolution that doesn't actually work out? You've most likely seen this image. As Albert has said, the struggle itself is enough to fill a man's heart. If anyone tries telling you, oh, why are you going to the gym? Why are you bothering to track your food? Why are you doing all of this stuff? Don't listen to them. Don't for any minute think you are incapable of doing this. Because if I could do it, me, then there is no reason that you guys shouldn't be able to do it either. All it takes is a bit of effort. Yes, tracking your food is annoying. For the first week is going to be annoying, but you'll get used to it. It'll become a habit. It takes a couple seconds to track your food, to log your food. As simple as I tried to make this, it's still going to be tough. Okay, being consistent every day, showing up every day, it's going to be hard, but it's simple. There is no reason as to why you can't do it. So if you watched this video and you've enjoyed it and it's helped you, consider subscribing and leaving a like. I'd appreciate that. And remember to show up, especially when you don't want to. Thank you guys for watching the video.